It was going to be a very long makeover plus tour, so if you want to see the final reveal, if you are an instant gratification person, you can click onto the next video. I'm sorry, you'll just have to wait a little bit longer for that, which won't be too long because I'm currently working on it. This room has been so long in the making that I'm so happy to have it done. So enjoy the video, and please don't take mind to how I look in the beginning of this video. I'm very sick throughout the organization process of this, so just give me a little bit of grace on that, so enjoy. Welcome to the mess. Yes, this is very jarring for some to see, especially people like my mother and my sister who are very clean. But I did not have that gene passed down to me, so this is what I kind of work with. You can kind of call it like a creativity mess. I know where everything is, it's just everything is in the way. So what I want to try to do today is make this room function for me and my creativity, as well as just look nice and stay tidy. It's a very tall task to ask, but I really want to tackle this and get it done before I have to go back to work, just so that I can come into this room and relax and create and just have a sense of ease looking into this room and not a sense of dread seeing at how much stuff I have accumulated over the years. So let's take a tour and see what we can get done today. Ugh. The first place I want to tackle is this wall. So right now I have this antique dresser. I absolutely love it. It holds so much storage for me and my fabric, but right now it is kind of getting covered with stuff that it doesn't need to have. So I need to fix that first. Mainly just kind of working around the feng shui of the room and adding in some new elements that I'm really excited for. But I think the first thing I have to do is clean this up, so if I can go to a time lapse, I think that might be the best thing, because we got a lot to do. I've collected so much clutter in the past 5 years of living in this house that it was time for me to seriously go through everything and take inventory of everything that I have. Cleaning as I go so that I can try to move section by section in this room, and I think that'll be the best plan. It all looked so easy in time-lapse, but I was very sick during this whole process, so I was very out of breath. So I just moved this cabinet over here. A little out of breath, but the adrenaline is pumping, so I'm feeling good. The next thing that I want to do is make the Ivar shelving for next to my desk into a clothing rack. It's gonna go right here against this wall. So it's pretty much hidden from the sun so that nothing will get sun bleached. It'll be right here fine. And right next to my mirror, I'll have everything that I need to get ready right here. So now I have to get the shelving, which is behind everything else that I've stacked over there, so. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I see what's going on here, I see. Okay. Okay. So, change of plans, I gotta move the clothing rack first to get to the shelves. BRB. I didn't mention it at the beginning of this video, but the style I'm going for is best described as light academia, cottagecore, gnome who doesn't go outside but likes to surround myself with things that remind me of being outside. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Here are the shelves. It took me all that work just to move all of that stuff that was hiding in that rack, to then move the serger, to then grab the shelves. And this is a prime example of why I need to get this kind of sorted out. So now that I have the base of the shelves. These shelves are modular, so they have little pegs that will fit into each of the holes on the shelving pieces, and then you just kind of hit and click in the shelves so that everything fits together. Let's just take a breath, centering, and now we can build the shelf. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
There is supposed to be a cross bracket to stop it from shifting sideways like this, but I think I threw it away a long time ago, so that's my bad.
So now we have this. We need one more piece to go here.
Now the instructions say to assemble with someone, but I was alone and I built the other shelves by myself, so I felt pretty confident that I could figure this out.
Alright, I've got anchors, a level, power tools. Woo! Okay. And hope that this will go well. So, let's try this out. Oh.
Making sure that the vertical pieces are level before adding anchors and screwing the shelf into the wall so that it stays in place.
The shelf is level. The room is not. Don't want things to fall off the shelf. It can't look level, which is okay. So now I have to add in a pole so that I can hang up all of my clothes. My plan is to take this wooden broom, cut it, and use this as the dowel that will stretch across from here to here. Yay! Like this. Now I have to make sure that the depth is going to be okay. I might have to go to the hardware store and get some bigger hooks.
Such a nice day out that I honestly can't find any other excuse than to just walk to the hardware store. It's only about 1.5 blocks away, so that'll be fun.
Did find these hooks that are pretty low profile, which is perfect because I need it to sit as close to this front part as possible. Ta-da! Very glad that I got this up. It is pretty strong, will hold all of my clothes beautifully. But now I have to clean everything up because the family's coming home and the house is in disarray. So I need to clean this up as best as I can, and then I will continue on later tonight. Day 1 complete. Welcome back for day 2. At the end of day 1, I had finished building this clothing rack, which will hold all of like my getting ready supplies. So like the stuff that I've made, my sweaters, my makeup and hair tools, because it is right next to the mirror. For day 2, what I want to do is move one of these tall bookshelves over into this corner. So what I had to do to prepare for this was taking out all the stuff out of these shelves, and then now I can disassemble this tiny little middle bookshelf. These shelves are the only thing connecting this bookshelf from this one. So once I take out these ones, this will be a standalone bookshelf, and then this one will be totally separate as well. It's a lot of work, but it's going to be totally worth it in the end. So let's go.
This part was a little game of Tetris as I had mere centimeters to play with as I moved the shelves around the window and the serger.
So now just moving the rest of the furniture around to get them in place, and then I can start organizing everything. But I'm really surprised at how much room just moving that bookshelf has and like separating it. The only thing I'm not 100% on is having my serger over there, and then I can devote the rest of my time into organizing. But oh, it's gonna look so good. I'm so excited. Okay, moving the shelf over there. The serger now fits here. And now I have this open space right next to my desk. Next thing I'm going to do is figure out what categories of things are going on each shelf. I might keep this the yarn section. I also have to have room for all of my drawing, my painting supplies. So that's gonna take a little bit more room than I thought, but I'm going to be paring down a lot of stuff, so everything's going to have a spot in the end. I'm making a deal with myself that I'm not going to bring anything into this room that will not fit. So I'm getting all of the furniture in the places that I want so that by the time that I'm ready to organize, I only have enough room to fit the things that I absolutely want to keep. So that's gonna mean a lot of purging for me, but all the stuff that needs to fit back into this room. Oh my god. All of that stuff. Oh, and some more over there. I have a problem that we're going to fix today. Let's finish getting this room into its final furniture modifications, and then we can start to put everything back in. Let's get back to moving.
I have this rug that I had in my living room a few years back, but it was just too loud when paired with the olive green walls, so I had it sitting in storage. This was the one time where I wanted help moving furniture since the dresser was so heavy to move onto this rug.
Okay, I think that's enough physical exertion I can allow myself this morning. Put down a rug. The dresser over there, the shelf, the serger, the other shelf, my desk, clothing rack, mirror, sewing machine, tired Brooke. I don't want to get up. I'm going to just do a light purge on things that I can just immediately get rid of. So that way I don't have a ton of stuff piled back in here, so I can start the process. So this is all going to be donated, and I feel a lot lighter now. I have a very hard time parting with things, especially when I try to consider things as garbage. So I really have to find the line between things that I need to keep, things that I want to keep, things that can be used by other people, and things that just have no purpose and I'm just holding on because I don't want to throw them away. So kind of coming to terms with that, and I think that this is going to be a big weight off my chest. But unfortunately, it is very heavy, so I have to load it all into my car first. My muscles are just gonna be so big after this. Oh, I can feel it. Is the focus on this thing even working? Welcome back to day 3. We are working with a little bit more chaos today. Everything is in its place. Here comes the long task of just organizing and putting everything back together. As you saw yesterday, I did do a slight purge of everything that I kind of have. The trunk of my car is full, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to stop there. The easiest part for me to start with will be this getting ready area because I know what is destined to stay here. I'm going to start here and then just work my way around the room. So now we've come to my favorite part of like organizing, is going through all of this stuff that you forgot that you had. So one of my favorites being random technology that I've saved. So let's go through some of my favorites. The beautiful teeny tiny brick, 2 iPhones, and then I also have my little iPod Nano. Now we've got some true gems in here. This is my phone from high school, and for any Zoomers out there, I believe I got this in grade 10. Nintendo DS. Game Boy Advance SP. Last but not least, this is my prized possession. This is the Game Boy Color. The one currently in here is Barbie Magic Genie. Of course, all of these are staying, so my kids can fawn over all of these antique games and technology in the future, because I have so much enjoyment from this. I want them to as well.
I have this suitcase that I bought from the thrift store a while ago, and I love it so much, so it was the perfect place to put all of my ancient technology. Slowly chipping away at organizing, but my brain likes to get distracted when I'm trying to focus on a task at hand.
Day 4. We got a lot to do still, but I'm hopeful that I can get a majority of this done today. I need to work on this shelf today and putting everything back into this dresser. In theory, this shouldn't take me too long, but I'm kind of hitting the wall at this point. I need all hands on deck to get this done, and that includes me, myself, and I, so we gotta get to work.
I have this antique sewing cabinet that holds all of my thread. I like to keep my large spools in the drawers and then my small spools in the little organizer at the top.
I feel like I am hitting a wall. And I think that majority of that reason is because now that I'm able to kind of move around this room with less clutter, I feel like I don't have to have as much urgency for this, but I need to get this done. What I'm working on right now, if you don't know, I make a lot of my own patterns for my sewing projects. I like to put all of my patterns inside these manila folders. I've started to do a little sketch because sometimes I'll label the pattern and then when I look back I have absolutely no idea what I'm labeling. Right now I have everything put into piles of different things that I have, and now I just need to put them into the folders and label them all.
I had a bunch of patterns that I was neglecting, and I'm happy that I was able to go through them all and keep the patterns that I will most likely use again, and turned out really good.
Alright, we're on to the next week. It's taken me this long to get this room in this order, and I think I'm going to try to finish it today. What I want to do is hang up all of my tools for sewing, so all of like my scissors and stuff. What I have is this very slender accordion type hanging rack. So what I think is going to work is just doing this. Hi. I've got a mirror and it's really pretty, and I think, if I can put it down, I think it'll look great over here. I think that's gonna be the next thing that I do. Gotta build up the courage to get out the power tools again, but we can do it. I know we can. My dad said to go get a really good anchor because this thing is not gonna line up with a stud, so I have to go to the hardware store to do that. So I'll be right back. Back with the goods. It says up to 61 pounds, so I told the hardware guy if my mirror drops, it's his fault. So I have that insurance. But I have to drill in the hole, screw it in, and then hang up the mirror and hope to God that it does not fall on me.
Now that I got one thing hung up, I feel way more confident to hang more things. I just put nails into the corners of these hinges so that it would sit in place and have a lot of support for everything that I was going to hang on it. I had a bag full of random stationery supplies and an overflow of pens that I had to go through and decide what was worth keeping and what was all dried up and dead.
The last place that I just wanted to organize was under here. Now these are my IKEA desk legs. I'll put the name for them right here. But they are sawhorse legs that are adjustable, so I have them adjusted to a standing height desk, which is perfect for cutting out fabric so that you're not leaning over a desk. I absolutely love these legs. I have a bunch of magazines that I think might look pretty good here, so I'm going to try that and see how that one works out. So this box holds all of my quilting stuff. All of these squares of scrap that I have cut out and intend to make into a quilt, everything's in here. I do not like to look at this box. I think that this box could look so much nicer, and that's what I want to do with it. This is a piece of 1/4 inch MDF. The only thing that I have to adjust on the box is the lid. The bottom of the box is going to stay the same because I have to take the lid on and off. I need something that won't affect me lifting it. So what I want to do is cut out a piece that will match this shape on top just to add more structure and to put some quilting and some stuffing onto the top of it so that it can be a little bit more cushioned. And then from there I will upholster it like an ottoman and add a ruffle all around so that everything is disguised so that in the inside it can hold all of my quilting supplies. I already have a bunch of these squares cut out, so I really just have to put them all together to make a long piece of fabric to cover the bin.
I wanted to use up these squares because I thought it would be a nice nod to what the storage bin was holding inside. And my son wanted to help me out, so he was taking out my pins and snipping the threads for me. Thank you. If you try out something like this, just be sure to take care of your fingers because the hot glue gun is in fact hot. I know from experience.
Well, that's done. I hate it. So I'm gonna try to redo it as fast as I can. 3, 2, 1. Ta-da! So I just changed it with an old bed sheet that I had, and I think it looks a little less chaotic, especially against this rug, so I think it looks much better. The last thing to finish off this room is going to be to fix the light. So as much as I like to make my own things and kind of like DIY a lot of stuff, I just had to bite the bullet because every single version of what I was trying to make was just failing and I was just getting fed up. I found a light that's going to be perfect, so all I have to do is assemble it, put it up, and then I think this room is done. I'm done.